Hi everybody, this is Abby with Scrappin' Abby, and I'm back with another project with you guys to share with you guys. I am making a pennant canvas banner for my craft room, and it's spelling the word create because in my craft room that is what I love to do, to create lots of paper craft and home decor projects. And this is also, in addition to being a project for my craft room, this is also one of my design team's projects I'm submitting for May Arts Ribbon, and they are having a design team call. Yay, love May Arts. So this is one of my projects that I'm going to be posting on my blog as part of the design team call audition process. So what I wanted to do, because I like to do written tutorials in addition to doing video tutorials, are both fun for me. I wanted to just share with you guys how I made two flowers, one using the May Arts trim that I have here. So this is the banner, and then I'm going to be doing a video when it's completely done with some additional photos. So this is just going to be showing you guys how to make this flower here using some fabric, and how to make these larger purple ones that you see here using this beautiful white trim from May Arts. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just push this out of the way. What I did is I left the letter A to share with you guys to show you how I put on the missing flower you see here, because I'm going to create it on video, as well as the flower you see here that's going to go right here on the bottom. So I just wanted to kind of share with you guys how I did that. So I'm going to push this right there and kind of leave the A down since that's what I'm going to be working on. And I have to apologize. My hands are obviously stained from doing lots of spraying and stuff. And for those who don't know, purple is my favorite color. So what better color to have your hands stained than your favorite color, so forgive me for that. So what I'm going to be working on first is this larger flower you guys see here, and I actually have one completed with mine is the big bling in the center, the big flat back pearl, just to kind of share with you guys what it's going to look like. So what I did is I just took some of this beautiful trim from May Arts, and that's I think the number's on the back. This is some of the new release that I was lucky enough to win a spool of from a prior challenge I did with May Arts. So I was very excited about that. And this is what it looks like when it's off the roll, when you cut a piece. I love that distressed edge right there. And what I did, there's no real measurement really, at least not for me. I just kind of eyeball a lot of stuff. But I cut off about, I think, 12, 13 inches of the trim. And then what I did is, you'll notice here different as well, is on this piece here, when it's just right off the spool that you get, what I did is I just snipped off the bottom strip right here off of this one. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want my flower to be like this big, because it would be too big for the scale of the project. But do not throw away your little scrap you have right here. One, you can use it just in its natural state, tie it off as on a ribbon on a card or on the spine of a mini or something like that. But what I did with mine is I used a combination of a few different Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays, and I made it look like this from this, just to kind of match my project. And I have these tied off on each of the letters, and I'll share with you guys when I get the A done what that looks like. So don't throw away your scraps, always keep your scraps. So I'm going to go ahead and put this strip to the side, and what I did is to kind of save time on the camera is all I did for my backing is I just used a strip of cardstock from another project, and I cut out enough for all the flowers here. And this, I believe, is like a 1-inch cutter, or excuse me, hole punch. You can use whatever size you like to do. And then also, what I use for my adhesive is score tape, because I love score tape. I use it like almost everything. Some people I know use hot glue, and that works fine as well. Just my preferred method is to use the score tape. I'm going to push this back up out of the way. And what I'm going to do, and bear with me, I'm going to zoom my camera in. My battery is getting close to dying, and I keep forgetting to change it. Give me just a sec here, guys. I'm so sorry. And if it won't work, I will just do my best to hold it up for you. Actually, let me try to zoom it in with the camera. Pardon the shaking. I'm trying to be all going just a little bit closer so you guys can see. Okay, there. So as you can see, I have my circle, and then I have my score tape over the back, and even though it's lopped over the side, that doesn't matter. I know some people like to trim it off, and you can do that if you want. I just leave it like it is. And then all I do, I'm out of my 1/4-inch score tape, so I had to use my wider tape for this project, and I'm just simply peeling the backing off of the circle, and then the score tape, you just do this business with it. You just flip it over like that, and that just gives you just a little bit more adhesive on your backing. Now, it does not mess up or interfere with the trim when you're putting it on and making your flower. it just adds a little bit more to it. And I also have some flower tutorial videos that I did last weekend or a couple weekends ago, one with my daughter. So this is kind of the same idea. I'm just kind of wanted to share with you how I'm using the May Arts ribbon on my particular project. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to start taking it and just put it on the very edge. Now, depending on how big you want your flower to be, you of course can go out to the very most outer edge if you want. You can go in farther if you want it to be. For my purposes, for my project, I'm just having to go start right there. And all I'm doing, and I'll try to do it in the air and then I'll do it real quick on the table, is I'm just taking a little piece of it and I'm just folding it over and I'm just doing like a pleat. That's it. It's just kind of a fold and pleat process. And I'll try to get on camera here. So, and then just kind of go around in a circle. And you may be noticing that my flowers on my project are actually already purple from the different sprays I'm using from Lindy Stamp Gang. And the reason I'm not spraying this before like I do on other projects is because I didn't want this to be as saturated. I still wanted some of the white to show through because I think it's just such beautiful trim. I love it. And pardon my voice. For some reason my voice is kind of raspy today. I'm not sure why. I don't normally sound like this, so I apologize for that. And just kind of go in a circle just like that, and you guys can see it kind of ends. And if you run out, which I've done before in the past, you just cut a little snippet off your roll and you just match it up. You can't even tell because you're going to put something in the middle and it works just fine. Or if you find yourself that it's too long, just of course snip it and then just push this into the center because that's where your adhesive is. So what I'm going to do is, because I wanted this to be kind of a shabby kind of distressed look, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out real quick here. Sorry for that. And what I'm doing is, because I want it to be kind of a shabby kind of look, because that's kind of the look I have in my craft room, is I'm taking this and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of crinkle it in my hand. And that just makes it where it looks a lot like this one right here, where the flower is a little more crumpled up instead of being so flat. And that's kind of what I end up with, this is this kind of a look right here. And it's so cool. You can even put this on your backing to be felt if you want, or something like that. If you want it to be a stiffer project, not bent up, then you could use chipboard. But if you use anything thicker than cardstock, it's not going to really crumple too well. At least not for me, it hasn't. So that's kind of the idea I have there. And then I have my box over here ready. This is the spray I'm using. You of course can use whatever color, or company or brand of sprays that you want. This is just what I happen to have. And I'll show you guys here real quick. I'm gonna hold this up. I got my fan going, so I'm hoping it's not gonna blow all over me, but I'll kind of tilt it this way. And these sprays take the trim from May Arts take these sprays just perfectly. I love it. And now you guys are gonna see why my hands are so purple. I don't mind getting my hands a little bit dirty when I'm working on projects. And I have a little towel right here. And if you don't want this to be, so much solid color, you can kind of, before it dries, you can kind of, dab on your project like that and kind of dampen it off. And then you still got that crinkled look, which I love. And then if you want the edges to be a little bit darker, see how you can still see the white? That's kind of what I was going for, because I didn't want it to be a solid purple. I wanted that, the white lace to show through, or the cotton trim. Is this little bit of excess you have in the bottom of, of my box for this example, you just take the edge and you just dip it in and it like wicks it up. And what that does is it gives you that little bit darker edge. And if you like that look, then that's what you can do. If you don't, of course you can just, leave that and just have the flower be like it is. So that's how I inked my flowers. I'll put this over there. And then all I did was just use, once I dried it with my heat tool, which I did do just with no problems, even though I have adhesive on the bottom of this, it didn't make the adhesive come up or anything, so it's fine to do that. Is I just use a little bit of 3-in-1, Beacon 3-in-1. You can use whatever liquid adhesive you like. You of course can use hot glue if you prefer that as well. Adhesive is just really kind of up to the crafter, because I know we all have our favorites of what we like to use. And I personally have quite the large container over here of different types of adhesive. It just kind of depends on the project. And then for mine, I just stuck this flat back pearl, this big huge one, just in the center, and then I have a flower. And so since I don't, actually I do need this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the project. And what I did, I was going to say I have an extra one for another project, but I actually don't. Is I just went ahead and just put some score tape on the back, and that's how I made these all stay, and they stuck just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a piece of that off. And you can tear your score tape. I always cut mine just because I'm kind of OCD like that, so I always have to cut mine with my scissors. And so this will go right here in the center just like that, and I'm just simply taking a piece of the score tape on the back of it and peeling it off. and it's going to stick it right on my project. And then when I go to hang this on my wall, it's, you know, it's going to hang just fine, not fall off or anything. And so that's how that flower turned out. And I'll go a little closer here so you guys can see it, how it looks. And then this here is what I was talking about from the scrap of the trim. That's how that looks. I think it looks so cool. It kind of adds another layer of texture to the project, which is one of my favorite things about the paper crafting. And this is going against my wall, so I'm not concerned about the back of this being white, of this cardstock, or the back of the trim. If this was going to be going, like, you know, over a doorway or against a window or something like that where you could see the back side, you know, then you would probably want to make sure you're using, you know, cardstock or something that matched your project or something like that. But this is going directly above my window, right, which is right behind me, against the wall, so you won't even see that. And then just to share with you guys really quickly, even though this isn't Maillart's trim or ribbon or anything, this is just some fabric that I picked up and one of the remnants that when I'm always going to, like, you know, Joann's or Michael's or something like that. And I wanted to share with you guys how I made these really pretty flowers right here at the bottom. And I just happened to have enough of these vintage buttons left, and I got into my stash. I typically don't, these are for my grandma. I have a whole big thing of them, and I usually just kind of keep them and hoard them just so I can look at them because I think they're pretty. But this is, I had just enough 6 on this one, so I was really excited about that. So what I did on this one is the same kind of thing. I have the paper with the score tape, and obviously this is way overkill, but I was out of my smaller score tape, which is on order, so I had to use this larger stuff. So I'm just going to kind of do the same kind of process here. I'm just peeling off my tape and just kind of folding it back. And this is just another fun way to add some texture to your projects and dimension, you know, as well as using different kinds of ribbons and trims. You can use fabrics as well. So I'll pull this up here. And this is the same kind of thing. This is on a longer strip because this is what I also used to tie my whole banner together, the whole pennant banner. So I'll just go ahead and make this flower real quick. And it's kind of the same thing as what I was sharing with you guys earlier. You're just going to kind of do the press and pleat type of on this project. And I just think this is so fun. I have another banner downstairs hanging in my entryway. It says family, and it has some of the different Maillart's trim on it, and I just love it. They have this beautiful, beautiful trims and laces and ribbons, and lots of choices for purple, which of course is my favorite color. So that's what I like. And I need to simply snip this off. And this is kind of a shabby kind of, and this I'll share with you guys here real quick. I'll grab my tiny bit of score tape here. Cut that off just because this is an example to share with you. If you have it where it's a little bit too long and you don't need that much, you can fold it down, or you can just take your scissors and you can just simply kind of trim it. And like I said, I don't really measure unless I am constructing something where I need to have exact measurements. Normally I just, you know, eyeball everything. So now let's put my little bit of score tape right there in the center, and then just, oh sorry, I was off camera there, and just kind of fold that little piece down there like that. And then I got my button, and what I'm doing, since this has that little back piece on it, because you'd put thread through it, I would, you know, you could use score tape, you know, if it was a flat back one, but since this has that little nubbin on the back, I'm just simply using some more of that liquid adhesive and putting it on the back side like that. And this is going to go in the center just like that. And then the way that I stuck this to my project is, again, I used more of the same liquid adhesive, and that's what I'll do. And since I don't want to cover the entire back of the circle because this is a pennant, I don't want the liquid adhesive to come off the back onto my table. I'm just putting it right here where in the center point here where I know my little flower's going to go. So I'm just daubing some of that on, and then just put my little flower. And it might take a minute or two for that little piece, little button in the center piece here to dry, just because it's got that little nubbin. There wasn't a lot of surface area, but these other ones I have, they were dry within like 1 to 2 minutes. It was pretty quick. So, but if you are going to have anything heavier, you know, you might want to let it lay flat just for it to dry. So that was my tutorial just to share with you guys how I made the center flowers for in between the different pennants, and then how I made the flowers for the bottom part of my banner. And I will have a video of my completed banner. Probably not sure if I'm going to get it up on my wall today or not, but I'm going to be doing a video of this along with my other projects for the design team call for May Art. So thanks for checking out my video, you guys. I hope you like my little quick, super, real quick and easy flower tutorial on how you can make flowers using the beautiful May Arts trims, all different kinds. I've made flowers with, the wider grosgrain trims that they have. And then also my project, this is on my last little bit left, but this was a white, some of their white lace. And that's what I have on the upper part right here too. I forgot to share with you that piece. So there's my project. So I will be back with another video with this all completed when it's with my other projects. So thanks for watching my video, you guys, and I will see you soon.